Welcome to KXU's On The Go. I'm Chance. One high school students are using their lunch break to do something a little bit different on a Wednesday. At Mandan High School, students are remembering loved ones lost to suicide by writing messages on strips of paper, tying them to a remembrance rail. You see some of those notes out there right there. Each note carried words of hope or honored someone who died by suicide. It's part of Suicide Prevention Week at the school. It's tied to National Suicide Prevention Month, and it's happening nationwide. Counselors say it gives teens a way to process loss while also reminding them that there is help out there. Right now, suicide is the second leading cause of death for people ages 15 to 24.
It's important to me because there's so much loss in the world, and I've even experienced it myself with suicidal thoughts and have tried. And a lot of people in my family have tried also, and it's not a good thing to have in the world.
Letting them know about resources and that the situation isn't hopeless, that everything is figure-outable. And just to honor that and end with that.
Now, if you or someone you know is struggling, call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number right there available on your screen. Trained counselors are also available 24/7. Beginning next week, parents can take their kids out for their first ever deer hunt in the state. Check this out. Friday the 19th is the start of youth deer season in the state. The season runs for 10 days in which kids may hunt statewide. Kids under the age of 11, 12, or 13 may shoot an antler-less deer. Kids who are under 14 or 15 may shoot a buck. All youth hunters must have a parent or guardian with them at all times. That adult may not carry a firearm, and they must be wearing blaze orange. Now, if the hunters are unsuccessful, they may use that tag for deer gun season as well, which runs from November 7th through the 23rd. One North Dakota teacher is getting some high praise this week. Leah Wheeling was honored by the Department of Public Instruction as a finalist for the North Dakota Teacher of the Year. She's a physical education teacher and also teaches digital literacy at Simile Middle School, where she's kept kids active for the past 12 years. Wheeling was nominated for the prize, and she says she's humbled by the honor, but you won't see her standing on the sideline with a whistle anytime soon. Wheeling enjoys it best when she's doing activities with the kids.
Yes, we're going to run the mile in a little bit, and there's always extreme anxiety with that, but I always let my front end class know that I'm going to run with them, or my tail end class, and it's more about empowerment, right, and letting the kids know, yes, you can make it a mile, because we do disc golf first, and those kids at their throwing rates, they do 2 to 3 miles on the disc golf course when they're running around there. So then I'm like, it's just a mile on the track, and we're in it together, we're here to learn together, we're here to move together.
She is a finalist along with 3 other teachers from Grand Forks, Mayville, and Lisbon. So the North Dakota Teacher of the Year will be awarded in 2 weeks. We wish everybody the best of luck. Let's check in with Vanessa for a quick check of the forecast. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Chance. Good Thursday morning, everyone out there in North Dakota. And of course, we're dealing with those steady showers working through the state, even seeing quite a bit of a light show up closer towards the greater Bottineau region this morning here. Let's zoom you a little bit tighter into what we're watching for you first here. Closer to, say, Hettinger, even closer to Corson County, South Dakota. If you're closer to Mobridge, maybe getting clipped by a few isolated showers in the next several moments or so. But again, this is the one cell that we've been keeping an eye on for you all morning long here. You can see closer to, say, Lake Metagoshi up towards the Peace Garden. Bottineau, you may be dealing with quite a bit of that light show. As of right now, nothing is severe warned. Likely not going to see that as the day goes on here, just because the environment not really favorable for that at this point in time. But regardless, waking up to those 60s across the board here. We've let go of that breeze unless you are closer to where we're seeing some of those stronger storms developing up towards the far northeastern portions of our viewing area here. Regardless, across the rest of the region, you may find an upper 50 closer to, say, Crosby, even Medina here, coming in at 57 degrees right now. That's quite remarkable here. And as we head into this afternoon, this is also quite remarkable, despite the increased chances for showers and storms building in across the region this afternoon. We're going to be talking those temperatures still staying into the mid to possibly even upper 80s. I do think the best chance for that likely going to lie closer to, say, northeastern Montana here overall. But regardless, as we walk you through the next several hours here, as we get closer to the mid to late morning hours here, getting closer to the east of Highway 83, where we're seeing some of those isolated rumbles of thunder, steadier showers working through the state. And this may come in, say, 1 or 2 spurts here, kind of more in that off and on format. So as we approach closer to, say, 5, 6 o'clock this evening, we're going to be talking the potential of kind of what we call dry slotting here. But regardless, the cloud cover essentially stays locked in place here. And we're going to be talking even the potential for those shower chances extending into areas to the far north and west going into early tomorrow morning. I do think this model's kind of overdoing it in terms of what we're expecting to see going into tomorrow morning. If there were to be a drier day out of the next several here going into the weekend, likely going to play out to be your Friday here. And again, we're still talking temperatures across the board sitting into those 80s. Relatively speaking, we could see some upper 70s up towards our far north here. Looking at Bottineau coming in at 79 degrees for tomorrow afternoon here. But taking a look at Williston's next 5, it's clear to see that the 80s are going to hang on by a thread here for at least today and tomorrow, cooling back down into those 70s as we approach the point of the weekend. I would not be surprised if we start to see these trends a little bit upward in terms of the precipitation chances, of course. And taking a look at Dickinson's next 5, possible mid to upper 80s for this afternoon here. We're going to be slowly cooling down as we approach the point of the weekend here, talking those temperatures into the 70s up into the 80s for Monday. So maybe that we will see some summer-like temperatures back on the docket as we get into Monday. And you can see that even looking at Minot's next several days here into the 80s, cooling off into those 70s for the weekend. Possible return to the 80s as we approach early next week. And finally, taking a look at Bismarck's next several days, 80s for today and tomorrow, cooling off into those 70s going into the weekend. And hey, take a look at that chance. We're going to be back into the 80s for early next week, noting that summer just wants to hang on by a thread.
Yeah, we're like up and down right now, teeter-totter with the upper 70s, low 80s. All right, Vanessa, thank you. Well, for everyone here at KX News, I'm Chance Ficklin. Make it a great day.